Tuesday of the 13th week in Ordinary Time.
A reading from the book of Genesis. As dawn was breaking, the angels urged Lot on, saying, "On your way, take with you your wife and your 2 daughters who are here, or you will be swept away in the punishment of Sodom." When he hesitated, the men, by the Lord's mercy, seized his hand and the hands of his wife and his 2 daughters, and led them to safety outside the city. As soon as they had been brought outside, he was told, "Flee for your life. Don't look back or stop anywhere on the plain. Get off to the hills at once, or you will be swept away." "Oh no, my lord," Lot replied. "You have already thought enough of your servant to do me the great kindness of intervening to save my life. But I cannot flee to the hills to keep the disaster from overtaking me, and so I shall die. Look, this town ahead is near enough to escape to. It's only a small place. Let me flee there. It's a small place, is it not, that my life may be saved?" "Well then," he replied, "I will also grant you the favor you now ask. I will not overthrow the town you speak of. Hurry, escape there. I cannot do anything until you arrive there. That is why the town is called Zoar." The sun was just rising over the earth as Lot arrived in Zoar. At the same time, the Lord rained down sulphurous fire upon Sodom and Gomorrah from the Lord out of heaven. He overthrew those cities and the whole plain, together with the inhabitants of the cities and the produce of the soil. But Lot's wife looked back, and she was turned into a pillar of salt. Early the next morning, Abraham went to the place where he had stood in the Lord's presence. As he looked down toward Sodom and Gomorrah and the whole region of the plain, he saw dense smoke over the land rising like fumes from a furnace. Thus it came to pass, when God destroyed the cities of the plain, he was mindful of Abraham by sending Lot away from the upheaval by which God overthrew the cities where Lot had been living. The word of the Lord.
The responsorial psalm. The response is, "O Lord, your mercy is before my eyes. Search me, O Lord, and try me. Test my soul and my heart. For your mercy is before my eyes, and I walk in your truth. O Lord, your mercy is before my eyes. Gather not my soul with those of sinners, nor with men of blood my life. On their hands are crimes, and their right hands are full of bribes. O Lord, your mercy is before my eyes. But I walk in integrity. Redeem me and have mercy on me. My foot stands on level ground. In the assemblies I will bless the Lord. O Lord, your mercy is before my eyes."
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. As Jesus got into a boat, his disciples followed him. Suddenly a violent storm came up on the sea, so that the boat was being swamped by waves. But he was asleep. They came and woke him, saying, "Lord, save us, we are perishing." He said to them, "Why are you terrified, O you of little faith?" Then he got up, rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was great calm. The men were amazed and said, "What sort of man is this, whom even the winds and the sea obey?" The Gospel of the Lord.
Tuesday of the 13th week in Ordinary Time. The first reading comes from Genesis 19:15 to 29. This is the story of how God punished the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah for their sinfulness. They were sinful in many ways, and that's especially exemplified in the fact that when 2 angels come to visit Lot and his family, the people of Sodom and Gomorrah want to abuse them. They're not showing hospitality. Remember how important that was when the 3 visitors come to the tent of Abraham. In this case, they are very sinful, and they will be punished for that. Now, Lot and his family are protected, although the 2 sons-in-law of Lot refuse to be protected. They stay where they are. Lot, his wife, and his daughters flee, and Lot comes across as a very weak character. He has to almost be pulled out of the house. He's being led to freedom, being led to safety, and he has to bargain with the angels. Oh, it's too far to go. Can't we just settle over here? Lot does not come across as heroic and generous as his uncle Abraham. Lot's wife is turned into a pillar of salt because she looks back at the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah when they had been ordered not to. Now, what is this story about? Most probably it's an etiology for the fact that there are pillars of salt along the Dead Sea that look as if they could have been a person in some previous age. So in order to explain it, the people of that area came up with an explanation for why it looks like a person. However this story began, it is a warning that we have to look forward. We have to put the past aside in order to live in the freedom of the present moment and the hope of the future. The Gospel comes from Matthew 8:23 to 27. Jesus is in a boat with the disciples and there's a storm. The disciples are afraid the boat's going to sink. Jesus awakes, rebukes the winds and the sea. Now, at one level, this is a nature miracle. Jesus controls the rules of nature. But we also have to remember that the Jewish people considered the sea to be a reservoir of evil, where the great sea creatures, Rahab, Leviathan, lived. So if Jesus can calm the sea, he has power over the demonic forces. He has power over the evil that is endangering this world. And therefore, he has the very authority of God. And what's the response of the disciples? They're filled with wonder, because he has power even over the wind and the sea. They recognize that he truly possesses the authority of God. Remember, these 10 miracles in the chapters after the Sermon on the Mount are supposed to show us that Jesus, in fact, had the authority of God to teach, because he has the authority of God to perform these miracles. And may God bless us.